There used to be a great tower alone on the sea. You became. All right, anyway, I'm going to get dinged for copyright. I got dinged for Harry Potter. There's no way I'm not getting dinged for Seal, Kiss from a Rose. Not happening. No way, shape, or form. All right, happy April Fool's Day. Happy April Fool's Day, everyone. Good to be here. I'm so happy for those of you who have tuned in. Thank you so much. Hopefully, we can make your day brighter. And how can we make your day any brighter than talking about Batman Forever? I mean, we'll go into a little bit of other Batman, but this Batman episode is specifically for Batman Forever because I have my oldest buddy, Liam Carroll, who's going to be joining us today. And I want to tell you a couple things. First, as we try and always start off, we're going to talk about a little uplifting news. Since, what's going on right now, obviously we have this horrible pandemic going on, but a little bit of brightness in our day is that Crocs, the shoe manufacturer, is making little slip-on sandals. They're making 10,000 a day and donating them to healthcare workers across the United States. So 10,000 pairs of Crocs a day are going to people to help them in their day, make their day better, keep their feet comfortable, because I know a couple nurses and they are working nonstop. So thank you to them, and thank you to Crocs for doing that for us. All right, let's get into our episode. First of all, we are talking about Batman Forever. And I have a few loves in my life. One is my wife and my family. The other one is my future child. Sure, that's family, right? That falls in. The other one is Yankees and Batman. And yes, I found a hat that has Yankees and Batman on it. So why not wear that hat? You might notice I've been wearing hats these days to plug my favorite things. Yankees, Batman, that's one of them. I don't have my Yankees, so at least I can try and get my Batman fix. There's a Batman cowl. There's a Batman cowl. There's a Batman poster. There's another Batman poster. And clearly I have some sort of sick obsession. And I'm going to explain that obsession to you right now. All right. Joining us today is Liam Carroll. I'm going to unmute my friend here, and we're going to get going.
Hello.
Yes. You are live, Liam.
All right. Hello, Internet.
Yeah. Oh, man. The Internet loves us.
Oh, man.
We're big friends.
Blowing up.
All right. So, where's my phone? There it is.
By the way, I'm just wearing a hat because I didn't get a haircut before the end of the world started. So now I'm gonna...
I totally forgot, too. I had a whole plan. Lauren and I were supposed to go on vacation. We were leaving Saturday. We were supposed to go to Cancun. Yeah, for a baby moon. We went to Cancun for a honeymoon, so we were like, oh, let's go to Cancun for our baby moon. Canceled.
Oh, man.
I got an email we canceled it beforehand, but I got an email the other day, and they were like, your hotel is closed. I was like, oh, sweet. I figured. All right, so first thing we want to do, Liam, is I want to hear a little bit about what you're living in Brooklyn, right? You in Brooklyn?
I'm in Brooklyn. Yeah.
Williamsburg?
Your parents' old
Bay
stomping
Ridge.
ground, Bay Ridge.
Yeah, buddy. Bay Ridge is awesome, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So
I've been living here for about 3 or 4 years now. Big fan.
Yeah. So what's going on? What's it like in New York City?
I mean, that's kind of the funny thing. I can only really speak on what's going on in my own neighborhood,
Mm-hmm.
because since the beginning of March, more or less, I've been really cut off from
Yeah.
the rest of New York City. Like the rest, I can't even tell you like the last time I was on the subway, like just like things like that. It's been really crazy. So
Yeah.
like
Subway is that's like avoid at all
March was
costs.
a absolutely, yeah. So March was a really weird month. Basically, it started. Um, I basically, to long story, but I spent the last year kind of switching careers. I went back to school and got a certification in paralegal studies. So I basically had spent the last 6 months or so just on the job hunt while I was still freelancing a bit here and there. And at the beginning of March, I finally got a job,
Hmm.
which I was really stoked about. And I was set to start on March 23rd was going to be my big starting day. I got that the first week I got the job. And at that time there were rumblings about what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Um, at that point it was still more or less like contained to to China and probably like parts of Asia. I think there was sort of starting to look like maybe some stuff popping up like in Italy
Yeah.
at that point.
Italy got hit
But at
bad.
that point, yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
what happened in
they
Italy? Yeah, for those who don't know, what happened in Italy was that when the virus hit Wuhan, China, Italy had sold a lot of their clothes manufacturing in Milan to Chinese investors. So a lot of people, when they saw that the work in Wuhan was drying up, they were like, oh, we'll just go to Milan. We'll just travel there. So they traveled and they brought the virus with them to Italy. That's one of the
right,
things they're saying, that why Italy, besides the fact that it's got an older population, a lot of people smoke, and this is a respiratory infection, and a lot of bad,
right,
a lot
yeah,
of like a perfect storm of bad stuff going on.
yeah, real crazy. So yeah, so at that point, it was kind of like when I found out that I got the job, it was kind of just starting to get really kind of weird. You're starting to hear like uh, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer as much as possible. Try and try and stay inside if you have to, if you can,
Mm-hmm.
if it's possible. But I remember probably the last time I ventured like out of my neighborhood was Sarah, my girlfriend. We went out to a restaurant around her office to celebrate me getting this job. And after that, it was like things just rapidly started deteriorating. Like, I think that week was when it started to be like, okay, now like we have like you really have to. You started hearing about like social
Oh
distancing
yeah.
and working from home,
So what do you do
staying inside
about
as much as
groceries?
possible.
How does all of that work? How
Yeah,
does living in the city work right now?
so that's been a whole thing in and of itself. We have a couple grocery stores near us, so for a while we were able to still kind of get groceries. Like it was at the beginning, it was a little weird. There were still kind of a decent amount of people out on the street. You know, I definitely the one time I went to go get groceries, I got more than a few dirty looks from some old ladies, like I was the Grim Reaper or something.
Oh yeah,
That
I went to
weird.
Costco yesterday and
Yeah.
everyone was in full face mask,
Yep.
gloves. Like it's
Yeah.
people
At
are
this
taking this
point,
very seriously, which you should. You
oh,
should take it very
absolutely. Yeah.
seriously.
Yeah. At this point now, it's like that's what it's like. At that point, back then it was still back then. It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah,
It
but it
was
feels like
still
years.
it does. It was still relatively normal. So at that, like by now, it's basically like the grocery stores are it's like it's just not really feasible. You can get like we have bodegas, so you
Yeah.
can get like the essentials
Yeah, like
there if
some
you really
fresh
need
fruit,
them.
maybe.
But we also have some some more like foreign owned smaller grocery
Hmm.
stores owned by like China, like
Yeah,
Asian
there's a
immigrants.
huge Vietnamese population in Bay Ridge right now.
Yeah, so there's lots
And
of Asian grocery
yeah,
stores
like
where you can get
that whole stretch where Travolta walked down with the paint cans in Saturday Night Fever, like
exactly.
it's all Vietnamese grocery stores now.
Yeah, yeah. It is. It's fun. Yeah, so you can just get like some good stuff there. But for the most part, we've been kind of relying on like Amazon Fresh
Yeah.
to deliver groceries to us, and that has been really crazy because I get more and more people are relying on it. So you really have to like time your orders carefully and be smart about it.
Yeah.
Like the last couple times I played order, you have to like the order at like 4 or 5 in the
Hmm.
morning. And it is like 2 or 3 days, and you have to like sort of have the delivery scheduled for earlier in the morning so that it's more likely that they'll have the stuff that you ordered at that point. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, that's basically what we've
How is
been
the
doing.
toilet paper situation in the city?
That's really tough.
Craziest thing in the
We
world to me that
Yeah,
people
so
think
we
right now
kind
you
of
need toilet paper.
yeah, so like basically at this point we are kind of going back to the bodega thing. We're kind of relying on just like the single Scott rolls
Hmm.
at this point to get for toilet paper. One we did do actually today is my girlfriend very wisely decided to order basically a bidet on the internet. A
Brilliant.
company, yes,
Brilliant.
from a company called Tushy.
The Europeans had something right.
Yeah, no, they got that right. Yeah,
I've been
so we,
considering bidets for a while.
yeah,
There's a movie. What
apparently-
is the movie where someone is using a bidet? They think it's a drinking fountain, like it's pushing water up and they're drinking from it. Oh, I can't remember what the
oh,
film is.
I know. I can picture it in my head
It's
right
not
now.
something. It feels like a Fairley Brothers film, but it's probably not.
It does. It does. That's a very
It's one of
Farley
those like,
Brothers kind of
yeah, stupid humor kind of things.
90s gross out comedy.
All right,
Um,
so we're gonna pivot. We're
so
gonna
yeah,
pivot
no,
right
we
now.
just installed that.
Let's pivot and let's go.
Yeah,
Let's just
let's pivot.
100% get into Batman Forever. So, for those of you who grew up, born in the late 80s, early 90s,
Yep.
for me and Liam, Batman Forever that was like, all right, so Batman Returns, the late 80s, early 90s. We were pretty young. Then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then Batman Forever came out, and like that was it's sad to say that was the first
that was our
Batman.
Batman.
Yeah, that was our Batman. That was the Batman I remember seeing in the theaters. Like that was the one that was my Batman. I don't even think I had many toys from that one. I had a lot of toys from Batman and Batman Forever, but I didn't have many toys from Batman. I'm from Batman and Batman Returns, but I didn't have many Batman Forever toys. But anyway, 1995, Batman Forever. I was 7. Liam, you were probably about 8, 7, 8. I don't remember when it came out.
I had just turned 8.
Just
It
turned
came
8.
out. It came out in June of '95. I think it
Okay.
was like early June. So I remember going with my dad to the Bridgewater Commons Mall,
Yes.
the movie theater there. So I saw it there.
Before it was a
Pretty
dine-in
shortly
theater.
after it came
Ugh.
out. I know.
I hate dine-in
Unless
theaters.
unless you're the Draft House or
Yeah. Oh
Nighthawk,
yeah. Well,
which is a good chain
yeah.
in Brooklyn. Those guys do it right. I was like, get that out of my face.
Yeah.
But so yeah, no, back when it was still like a good
Mhm.
quality, like sticky floors, crappy multiplex.
Yeah.
Oh
man.
we saw it there. My mind was absolutely blown by it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So
was
for
like-
those of you who don't know, Batman Forever is the third installment of the Tim Burton series. Yes, it is a sequel. It is a sequel that is not a sequel. Like, there's so many things about it. It's got a different soundtrack. Joel Schumacher directed it. So, a couple things. Tim Burton was slated to direct it. He wanted to call it Batman Continues. And
oh, really? I didn't
yes,
know that.
he wanted to call it Batman Continues. And then what happened was he decided, I don't know, he had from what I've heard, it's that McDonald's couldn't sell toys based on how dark Tim Burton's series was.
Well, that's the thing. I remember Batman Returns coming out, and the people were like really freaked out by it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, even to this day,
Batman's just straight up murdering people.
It's a really dark.
Like, it is not a comic book Batman movie. He's straight up throwing bombs on people, shoving them in manholes.
It's not a kid's movie either. It's really
not in any way, shape, or form.
So I remember that was like sort of the thing around it, like, because at that point I was a Batman fan, and I really wanted to see it because I loved the animated series. I loved the
animated series.
And
so great.
So like I wanted to see, but the thing was like all the buzz around it was like this movie's the Batman movie that's too dark for children. So no, my parents were gonna take me to see that. But once Joel Schumacher took over and made it
what was